So hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the previous few videos, we have discussed about Windows function, then we discussed about ranking and also row comparison. Today's video, we are going to discuss about some more advanced window functions, that is NTILE, first value, last value and nth value. So these four functions are very important. Let us try to learn them one by one. For the demonstration purpose, I am using the same database that we have already used for learning the Windows function, and I'm using the employees table. So the employees table contains the employee ID, employee name, department, salary, and hire date. So using this table, let us try to understand all the four functions. So the first function we are going to learn today is NTILE. Okay. Now basically what is the function NTILE? So basically this function is used to divide the rows into buckets. Okay. So let us try to understand this with the help of one query. So if I write here select employee name, comma, salary, comma, NTILE, and we have to provide in how many buckets we have to divide that particular group. So let's say I'm providing here 3. So I want that particular rows to be divided in 3 groups or 3 buckets basically. And here I'm going to use the over clause since we are using this is a window function. So over order by, let's say salary in descending order as salary bucket. Okay. From employees. Okay. Ordered by salary descending. Okay. Now let us try to execute this particular code. So if I execute it, I'm going to get it something like this. So basically how many employees I have? So I have basically 10 employees here. Okay. There are 10 employees. So these 10 employees, I would divide it into 3 groups basically. So here I am going to get 3 and the remainder will be 1 basically. So basically this distribution is not even. So we will not get each employee or each bucket 3 employees. There will be one bucket where the employees count will be 4. And basically that bucket is nothing but the first bucket. So you can see here in the first bucket, you can see there are 4 employees with salary bucket 1. And salary bucket 2, we have 3 employees. And salary bucket 3, we have again 3 employees. Since there were 10 employees and it is not evenly distributed, by default, the first bucket will get the extra employees. So I hope you understood about the NTILE. Now what happens if we divide this or partition it by department? So let us try to partition it also. So let's say partition by department and order by salary descending. So if I write something like this and execute this particular command, so I'm going to get it like this. So it will get partitioned into departments basically. So if I display a department also, department, and again this particular query. So basically in engineering department, we have how many total employees? 4. And we have to divide this particular 4 rows into 3 groups basically. So it is nothing but I want 1 employee in each group and there will be another first group in which there will be 2 employees. So basically bucket 1 will have 2 employees and bucket 2 will have 1 employee and bucket 3 will have 1 employee like this. Now in sales department, we have 4 employees again. You can see here sales and sales. So again this we have to divide in 3 groups. So in the first group 2 employees will come. In the second group 1 employee and in the third group 1 employee. And in marketing, we have 2 employees basically, and we have to divide that 2 employees in 3 groups. But there are only 2 employees. So first group will have 1 employee, second group will have another employee like this. So I hope you understood what is the working of the NTILE function basically. Now let us move to the next function, that is first value. Okay. Now from the name itself, it is clear. First value means fetch the first row basically. So let us try to understand this with the help of example. So if I write a query, select employee name, comma, department, comma, salary, comma, the first value, and I want the employee name as the first value. I need to give the column name basically. Then order clause. Then let's say I need to partition by, let's say department and order by salary in descending order. Okay, so this is my particular query and name this particular column as, let's say, top earner in that particular department, because we have partitioned it by department. So first value employee name order, so not order, it will be over clause basically. Over partition by department order by salary as this. Okay, and from the table employees. If I run this particular query, let's see what output we get. So first thing, we have partitioned it by department and order by the salary. So here you can see every employee is partitioned by department, engineering, marketing, and sales. And then order it by salary also, correct? For each department. So this particular thing is nothing but my one window. This is window 1, this is window 2, and this is window 3. So it is divided into 3 windows. For this window, for this particular window, what is the first row? First row is Ishan Engineering 95,000. And for the first value, I need employee name. So what is the employee name? Ishan. So that's why for this window, whatever rows are there are 4 rows in this particular window. For all rows, the column here, it is Ishan, 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 Ishan. The value of the column is Ishan because it is the first row of this particular window. Similarly, in the second window of marketing department, the first row is of employee name Riyansh. So that's why the top earner is Riyansh. And similarly, in the sales window, the first row is Diya. So that's why here the top earner in department row will give the value of Diya for all the particular rows. So basically, first value will fetch the first row of each window, correct? If I haven't partitioned it by department, so if I run it like this, I'm not partitioning it by department, I'm just using order by sales in descending order. In this case, I will get all the values for Ishan. Basically, here I have only one window, that is the whole table. When I partition it by department, I get 3 different windows. If I don't partition, I will get the whole table as one window. So that's why here the top earner department is nothing but Ishan for all the 10 rows. So I hope you understood about the first value function. Similar to first value, we have last value. Okay, so if I execute this particular same code, and here if I write instead of first value, I'm writing last value. Now pause this video and think what will be the answer. Okay, I hope you thought about what can be the answer. Now let us run this particular query. So if I run this particular query, if the first value gives us the first row, then if the last value is just mirror of the first value, the last value should give what is the expectation. Expectation is that it should give the last value of that particular window. Now in this engineering department, what is the last value? Sanvi. Is this particular row giving Sanvi? No. It is giving something different answers basically. Now why it is giving us different answers? So basically, the expectations are last value will fetch the last row of the window. Correct? This is my expectation. But this is the not case. But reality is something different. Reality, it's different. So it does not fetch basically the last row basically. Now why it doesn't fetch the last row? To explain this in more simple way, we'll write a more simple query here. I'm executing this same query. And here I'm focusing on here only on one department. So let's say we are going to focus on department sales, this particular department. So where the department is equal to sales. Okay. And rest of the thing we are keeping as it is. Okay. And also I'm going to change here as lowest earner because this is going to fetch me the last value. So if I execute this particular command, now here we are going to focus only on the sales department. So you can see here we are using the function last value, but we are getting we are not getting the last value of Mira. So here we are not getting Mira, we are getting Kabir, Arav, Mira. Now how this is working basically. Now when it goes to the first row, here you can see the salary is 62,000 and for the second record also the salary is 62,000. So basically the range of both these rows is same, and in this case this is my frame basically, or this is my window. In this case, in this frame, the last value is Kabir, that's why it is displayed Kabir. When it goes to second row, then also the last row is nothing but Kabir, that's why it is giving me Kabir. When it goes to the third row, in this case, the last row is Arav, that's why it is giving me Arav. And when it goes to fourth row, in this case, the last row is Mira, that's why it is giving me Mira. So basically, when you use the last value, it does not see the whole window basically. It goes frame by frame or row by row. Below, whatever rows are there, that are not visible to it. So in this case, the current row is nothing but basically the last row. So how we can fix this? How to fix? So to fix this, we need to explicitly widen the frame. So we have to widen the frame range so that the window function can see all the frames basically or all the rows. So that's why in this particular query only, we are going to add here one more statement, that is last value employee name over partition by department, order by descending, salary descending. In this only we have to add here one more statement, that is rows between unbounded preceding and unbounded following. So this particular sentence we have to add. So if you are at this particular current row, you can see unboundedly preceding row and also unboundedly the following rows to it. So this statement we have to add. Then if I execute this particular query, now in this case I will get the output as Mira, 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 Mira for all the 4 rows, because now the window function can see unboundedly following rows. So when it is at the first row, it can see the last row also, till the last row also. When it is a row 2, still it can see the last row like this. Now how this particular thing works, that we'll see in some time. Before that, we'll also cover one more function, that is nth value basically. Now we calculated or we fetch the first value and the last value. What if we want a particular value, let's say second value or fifth value, some position value. So that time you can use the nth value basically. Okay. So similarly, if I write this particular query, same query like this, select the employee name, department, salary. Instead of last value, I'm going to mention here nth value. Nth value of employee name over partition by department, order by salary descending. Again, here I need to mention the rows between unbounded preceding and unbounded following. Even if it's nth value, then also I need to see the rows which are following and which are preceding this. Correct? As here, instead of lowest earner in the department, I can write as, let's say, I want to fetch the second highest earner. Second highest earner. So in this case, I need to give here which value I want. So beside the column name, nth value employee name, comma, I want the second employee name. So nth value, here the value of n is 2. That's why here my answer will be second highest earner from the department, where the department is sales. So from the sales department, I want the second highest earner. So in this case, what I will get, Kabir is my second highest earner. Correct? Kabir. So I hope you understood about the first value, nth value, last value, and the nth value. Now we'll come to the most important topic of this particular video, that is frame. What is a frame actually? So every window function operates on a frame that we have already discussed in the first video. Correct? The specific subset of rows. So frame is nothing but a subset of rows within the current partition that is allowed to look at. So basically, when we use partition by, it decides which partition you are in. So the frame clause decides which rows within the partition are visible. Let us try to understand this with the help of example. So if I write here something like this, rows between one preceding and current row. If I write something like this, rows between one preceding and current row, what does this mean? So this means literally the one physical row before this one plus this one, like this. So if you are now at the arrow, let's say you are now at the row number 3, that is arrow. So this particular statement means rows between one preceding. One preceding means before this particular row, that particular row, that is Kabir, and the current row, that is arrow. So here you will get only 2 rows basically. The current row and the row one preceding, that is before it. One row before it, like this. Correct? Okay, I hope you understood this. Now we'll try to understand what is unbounded preceding. Unbounded preceding. Unbounded preceding means all the way to the first row of the partition. If I write here unbounded preceding, and this is my particular window or partition by sales, partition by department and department sales. So unbounded preceding means it is the to the first row of the partition. So this is my first row, that is Dia. So in this case, similarly, if I write n preceding and give some value to n, so it is nothing but n rows before the current row. N rows before the current row. Here, current row. Here I have mentioned one preceding, correct? So it is one row before the current row. If I write two preceding, so two rows before the current row. Three preceding, three rows before the current. Similarly, like preceding, we have following. Following in this, we have end following and unbounded following. Unbounded following. Following means ahead. So current row and following means two rows ahead. If I write two following, then it will be two rows ahead of the current row. Unbounded following means last row, basically. So I hope you understood about the unbounded preceding, and following, and unbounded following. And current row is basically the current particular row. Okay. So I hope you understood whatever functions we covered in this particular video, that is NTILE function, first value, last value, and how actually last value works. And then we also discuss about the nth value, and then lastly about the frames, why we required frames, and how we can use rows between one preceding. What is one preceding? That is what is n preceding, what is unbounded preceding, and similar to that, what is n following and unbounded following. So this was all for the today's video. If you find this today's video interesting and helpful, do like, share, and subscribe the channel for more such videos. Thank you so much for watching. Keep learning.